Hello, peace and blessings be upon each and every individual. My name is Lanée, also known as B, also known as Brandy, whatever you feel like, that's who I am out of those three. Today's video is going to be an interesting one. I'm in your face. Excuse the nose. I'm in your face killing procrastination right now. Because if I didn't get up and get on here without trying to get ready, do an eyebrow, put on some real clothes, do my hair, it will never get done. So my way of killing procrastination today is just do it. Just do it. Before we get into the video, I do want to open up with a quick prayer. You know, nothing major, just talking to God. And after prayer, we are going to jump straight in. God, I thank you for another day, another chance, another opportunity to give your name glory, honor, and praise, another opportunity to get it right. God, I pray that you touch this video and this platform, whatever you want to do with it, God, do with it. Whoever you want to see this video, may you let it reach them. May you open their hearts so they may receive something from it, and may you touch each and every word that I say to make sure that it goes out the way that it's intended to, in the way that it needs to. And let everything that needs to be said be said. Whatever doesn't, let it not be said. God, guard my tongue, bridle my tongue. And let's do this. Help your daughter. In Jesus' name, amen. Period. And yeah, that's how I talk to him. And that's on having a Father in heaven. I'm just going to start off real bold and hard. Closure is a scam. That's how I feel about it. Not arguing with you. And we're going to get into why it's a scam. So first, starting off, what is closure? What is this thing that I feel as though my heart's so crazed and that I cannot move on without? What is closure? When you look up closure on Google or maybe even Webster, I like Google. I don't feel like the extra stuff. You'll see things like closing something, the end of something, sailing something off, things of that nature. But this one definition is what we're talking about. And it says, a feeling that an emotional or traumatic experience has been resolved. A feeling that an emotional or traumatic experience has been resolved. When we go through emotional things, a lot of times, they don't necessarily end the best way, or maybe even worse in some cases, they don't end at all. And what are you supposed to do about that? Things end, go, move, all types of out of our control. It's almost nothing you could do about most things, if you get what I'm saying. You falling out with a person, you're not getting along with a person, you had a disagreement, some type of when that fallout does happen and you get that feeling afterwards that I'm not done, or I need to know, that the curiosity killed the cat thing. It's like that. You feel as though you need something from that person. You need to know. You need the why. You need the how. You just need it all. You need all the answers. And the sad truth about it is you're probably never going to get it. You'll probably die without getting closure. And do you really want to hold that for possibly the rest of your life? Do you want to hold on to what it is that you think you should get, what you think you deserve from that person, what you think it is that they should say to you, how they should treat you, whatever the case may be, how they should close it off the way they should have? Do you really want to hold on to that yearning of that feeling that you'll probably never get, that satisfaction that you will probably never get? You'll probably never see it. Probably never even see it. Probably would never even picture it. They probably won't even give you a I'm sorry. You'll probably never get an apology. When you never did anything wrong, crossed all your T's, dotted all your I's on your P's and Q's, whatever you may want to call it, you'll probably never get it. And the hard part, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. You have to be able to take that, move on, dust your shoulder off, and keep it pushing, because you can't live your life stuck on closure. A lot of times we may feel like we need certain things out of life to move on, but in all actuality, sometimes you don't even know what it is that you need. Most of the time, you probably don't even know what you need. You probably feel like you need something, or you know that you need some type of something, but you love that C word. You love closure, but closure isn't always that conclusive. You could try to go get closure and it returns nothing to you. Closure and forgiveness are related, sweetie. They're related. And where they are related is in your heart. You hold on to it, you want it, probably feel like you crave it. I don't know you. I'm just a girl in the video box. But those emotions can also be tied to forgiveness. You could also crave in the same way harm towards somebody, hate towards somebody, resentment towards somebody, a lot of that. When you could just simply forgive them and just... Now, I'm not saying forgiveness is easy. I'm not saying that. But life does get easy after forgiveness. And the reason why it gets easier after forgiveness is because you let go, you let them. You're free. You're free. When you forgive, you're freeing yourself. Just imagine freedom. Just taking cuffs off. I'm out. When you accept the fact that closure may not be received, it's the same thing, because you're freeing yourself from what it is that you may want from the other person, or what the other person may never do. You cannot put your emotional stability on a human, an imperfect human. It's not going to happen. You can't put that weight on somebody else that can't even carry their own. They probably don't even got their own emotions in check. Because the weight that closure and forgiveness hold on the heart, that it holds on you, if you don't let it go, and if you don't give that up, you'll see the fruit of it later. And what you don't want to do is sit there and hold on to something that's killing you from the inside out. Something that isn't going to prosper you, something that isn't going to mature you, something that isn't going to grow you, help you grow as an individual, as an adult, as a grown functional being, as someone that communicates. It'll help you all the way around, I'm telling you. I don't think people realize how much power you really give to somebody when you give them your emotions. Passing my insides. Me not forgiving you, that's passing a piece of what's inside of me. Me seeking for something that you're probably never going to give me. It's giving you a piece of something that's inside of me. It's something, there's a piece of me that you get to hold on to just because I'm tripping. Just because I can't let go. Just because I can't move forward or move on, let go. Child, whatever the case may be. And the thing, it doesn't have to be boo. It does not have to be bae. It doesn't have to be wifey, hubby, the head worship leader that I'm courting with at church. It don't have to be none of that. That's not my situation. I'm just saying, might be yours. I don't know. It doesn't have to be that. It can come, you could have these types of conflicting situations with anybody that you have a relationship with. You do not only have relationships with the opposite sex. You and your mama could be beefing. You might need closure from your mama. I thought, is it time to be transparent? Okay, tea time. I'll speak for myself and my own experience. Well, one of them, my biggest one. This Anyway, I'm not going to disclose the full details of the situation because I do want to put that in another video, but just shortly for this one, because it's the first one that comes to mind. And it's probably the only closure I ever felt like I needed in my adult life. I have a family member, let me say. Me and a family member have an underlying issue, and it's been going on since I was a child. So I tried to take an aim at being an adult, like, hey, I want to talk to you, I want to work it out, I want to resolve it, you know, just a heart-to-heart talk. A heart-to-heart talk, not even requesting like an apology or something, because the person failed to handle me a certain way throughout my whole life, and I felt some type of way about it. So I was seeking out to make things right as an adult. You know, as a child, I'm not gonna get into the scripture. When I was a child, you know, I acted, you know, whatever, I don't care, you know. But as an adult, it's like, well, why can't I be mature about it? Why can't I communicate? I know how to talk now. Why can't I talk to you? So I found out why I can't talk to them. So I'm trying to reach out. I'm like, hey, I want to talk. I get one little talking person. They ignore me the whole time. Okay, strike one. Strike two. I try to contact them, and they're like, oh, well, I'm bringing such and such with me. So I flipped. Because why would you bring such and such when I told you I want to talk to just you? And the thing is, this person does that. So I knew that that was like a way of deflecting my conversation, basically saying you're not ready to have this talk, but you're not going to tell me that because you're not mature enough to communicate in that way, to just say I'm not ready to have this conversation. That would have been fine. That would have sufficed. But since they didn't say that, and since they weren't able to, I was completely upset. Even though I knew that's what they meant, I was tight because I wanted them to say it. Tell me you're not ready. Tell me you're not mature enough. Say it. Just that satisfaction. And it wouldn't have ended there. That's the great. It would not have ended there because I still needed to talk. So after that situation, when they brought who they brought with them, and I said, you know what, I don't want to talk. Forget it. Never mind. You knew I wanted to. I snapped. After I did my thing, respectfully snapped though. Let me say that it was a respectful snap. Don't get the game messed up. I said how I felt and did not disrespect anybody in the way you're doing it. Now that's grown. After that, I even went to the extent of writing the person a 4-page letter. Thought out, scribbled out a couple things, edited it, trying to make sure that there was nothing but pure love and emotion. This is how I feel. This is why I feel this way. Boom. Let's talk about it. And in the end of the letter, I said, I still love you. I still love you the same way. There's no hard feelings. I'm not trying to hold on to that. And whenever you're ready to talk, we can. I seen the person in person. Sound crazy to say. And the person looked at me in my eyes and said, you wrote me a letter. We'll discuss, because it was some other stuff going on. But got tight about it. Like, you wrote me a letter? And I said, yes. And I watched as they put it up and put it in their pocket. And that was a couple years ago. And I still, to this day, do not know, have no idea if they even gave me the decency of even reading it. Never said anything about it. Never came back to me about it. Never talked about it. Never gave me anything from it. Never said that they understood how I felt. I honestly do not know if they've read it. And I've talked to this person since then multiple times. Family. I don't have to talk to you, but you know, I've talked to this person, like, by myself, not in gatherings or nothing. Like, hey, how you doing? I never got it. And I had to accept that I will probably never get it. And that's fine. Now that I'm grown, like, I'm not going to say I don't care, because it would be nice to have that, but I can't let that keep me back from accepting actual genuine relationships that will benefit me in the future, that aren't toxic, that aren't going to actually reciprocate something that I put out. What am I gonna do? I can't let one loss keep me back from 1,000 wins. What do I look like? So that was something that I had to really deep breathe and really get God to touch on, because I wasn't getting over it by myself. And I'm not even saying today that I'm 100% over it, because if that person wanted to talk right now, I'm all ears, just because I feel like it would take something really, really big for them, because they old, for them to get mature enough to come and talk to me about it, especially like an adult to child dynamic, even though I'm grown. To them, I'm a child, because, you know, whatever. For them to humble themselves enough to come and just talk to me without any pride or animosity or anything that they might feel, that would take a lot. So I would be very receptive of that. I would go, but I wouldn't go in with the same headset that I had before. I wouldn't go in with an expectation. I would go in simply just to listen, because on my end, I'm free from it. Yeah. And when I tell you the freedom from this thing, it's like a literal actual weight being lifted. Like just the breathing even feels different. Like, even talking, the fact that I can talk about this and not break down and cry, because that's how deeply I felt about this thing. That's how hard I felt about this thing. And it still does touch me. It still does get to me when I do talk about it, because it's very unfortunate, but I don't seek anything from it anymore, except for to help other people, possibly. So hopefully this helped you. Hopefully you got to see things in a different light, possibly, and hopefully you know that you do not need what they say to get you to move on. What they say does not stop your life. There is a rainbow after trauma. There is happiness after trauma. You do not have to stay there. You do not have to live there. If that's where you want to live, that's fine. But best believe you do not have to. You're not subject to that. So when you're ready to be free, go for it. However, that wraps up today's little segment on closure. I'm probably gonna come back and talk about it somewhere, because this really wasn't all in all what I wanted to get out, but it was just a quick impromptu video so I could kill the procrastination and get it out there and, you know, start this thing. I'm probably going to be using YouTube. YouTube is mostly going to be used for my talkative videos, my more lengthy videos, and Instagram is probably going to be the quick fun stuff, fashion, makeup tutorials, whatever comes there. Follow me on Instagram at BEELANEE_the If this video did help you, do not hesitate to let me know. You know, only sitting here talking to myself. You know, it'd be nice to know somebody heard me. I've been talking to myself for a long time. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. May you be blessed, and may you be free. Honey, be free. Be free. Be free. Be free, please. I love y'all. Take care. Be safe in these streets. Stay prayed up, blessed up. And I'll see you in the next one.